Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Santa's favorite stop, Rooftop Landing Reindeer Farm of Clare. Come see and pet real reindeer. Visit the gift shop, get your picture taken in Santa's sleigh. Fun for the whole family. 'Tis the season, Rooftop Landing Reindeer Farm, Clare. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pole. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pole. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. This week on the show, the beauty and romance of the Renaissance, of kings, queens, jousting, beautiful music, and intricate art. Times past relived each year at festivals and other special events. Our travels this week take us to the Grand Rapids area where the Spalinks share their love of the era with us. James Spalink is a Renaissance musical instrument builder and performer. Nancy, his wife, an amazing artist to boot. Today we visit with Nancy to learn what makes that passion of the Renaissance take root and hold tight to enthusiasts. Then on the show, we visit the Michigan Renaissance Festival in Holly, where the crew from OCTV, Jim Hughes and Terry Stiles, join in the excitement of past get-togethers that draws not only kings and queens, but peasants and entertainers as well. Stay tuned, it's coming up this week on Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare. What began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more. Plus a full menu at the new adjacent Traffic Stop Diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Introducing the Weed Gator. For safe and easy aquatic weed removal, the Weed Gator is the #1 alternative to harsh chemicals for getting rid of pond and lake weeds. Safe and effective. See it in action now at weedgator.net. Made in the USA. On a previous edition of Michigan Magazine, we were treated to the wonderfully haunting refrains of the Renaissance period music that emanated from the handiwork of Grand Rapids harp and lute maker James Spalink. Our visit with James led us on a journey of romance to a time and place long ago. It also led us to the breathtaking artistry of his wife, Nancy Spalink, whose love also of the Renaissance period was displayed through multiple artistic outlets. From detailed sketches on greeting cards of legends and lores, to full color renditions of Celtic themes on period musical instruments, utilizing paint and wood burning. Nancy also demonstrated an uncanny ability to bring into 3 dimensions characters of the Renaissance period through her doll making. Nancy's hands and mind are never idle, whether she's joining her husband musically or losing herself in one of her current projects. It was a total joy to share a bit of her and her husband's life that day. The two, whether together or separately, demonstrated the living of a life of doing what makes you happy. Our visit with Nancy began as she explained to us the beauty we saw in her painting and wood burning on these ancient Celtic instruments. What were these used for? Were these just drums or?
Yeah, drums. I think sometimes they were brought into battle also to drive the forces forward. But now they're used in bands, Irish bands.
This is goat skin, you would say.
Yes.
Okay. And up above us are some of your resulting handiwork there, some of the artwork. Now this is beautiful. Now what type of a theme is this? Is this a Celtic theme? Or?
Yes, these are all Celtic. They have the knotwork in them and the animals intertwining.
My goodness, is it a difficult medium to work with as far as putting it on the goat skin? Is that hard to do? Or?
My husband does that part. They have to be soaked and then stretched, and it's a little tricky because it can lift and pull off if you don't do it just right. But as far as the surface to paint on, I find it real nice.
It is beautiful artwork you have here now. These are also built by James, and of course you do the artwork on top. And on the sides, do you do that artwork too?
We do wood burning. Yeah, I do the wood burning because the surface, if it has too much ornamentation on it, the drummer is going to smear that paint. So a lot of them we leave with just a plain goatskin head.
Let's talk a little bit about your background in art. How did you get involved in the world of art?
Oh, from a little girl. My mother would lay on the floor and draw with me, and then that brought an interest in art. I went to the Detroit Institute of Arts as a child. They took kids throughout the city and would give them an opportunity to sit in the galleries on Saturdays and draw. So I did that. And then I went to the Center for Creative Studies and took a little bit of commercial art there.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked in advertising also.
And you do have a love for the Renaissance period,
Oh,
too.
yes.
That makes it very nice, you and your husband getting together and having a common interest like that. What makes it so interesting to you, I mean, that time period and that art form of art?
It was romantic. I think that there was a different exchange at that time between people. That's, I guess, what I like about it the most, is the romance of the era.
And the music, I think that is very intense, very passionate, too, type of music. And it really... It's very nice music, and it touches all the strings of the soul too.
Yeah.
But you also are into cards. I mean, you also do a Renaissance period type cards. Let's a little bit.
I take the myths from Ireland and the Renaissance and blend them together and make some greeting cards from those too. Yes.
And where do you get your inspiration for that? I mean, is it just
stories everywhere. I do a lot of research in the library. There's a lot of rich tales that have come from the Isles down to us, and I research those, and that's where I get my ideas.
How did you develop your I should say passion for what you do? I mean, did it just happen as you were going to art school, and what direction you'd be going with your art, or how did...
Well, I had worked in advertising for a long time out of need to support the family, and now I'm a at-home mom, so I can do whatever I want.
There you go. And you do. And your artwork spills over into not only the painting or the artwork we see here, but also into doll making, too.
Yes. I was a visual display artist for a long time and worked in a three-dimensional scope with mannequins. So now, again, I can do what I want. When I make a doll, I can dress it the way I want. So I do. I enjoy the doll making also. And most of them have reflected the Renaissance era, too.
Do you actually sell these to people interested in take commission work at all, or how do you
I do custom work, and I've sold them through local doll shops out in Saugatuck and Lowell and places like that.
Where do you plan on going with your work? I mean, is it the same, possibly to do it full time as a living, or what?
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah?
I hope to. Yeah, I'm right now. They're both running neck and neck, the doll making and the cards, and we'll see which one takes off.
What's your favorite? I mean?
They all are. I like them all. It depends. You know, sometimes through the winter months, the doll making is the nicest. It's more. It takes up more space, and so I can leave it out longer. But in the summer months, I like to do the cards. It's a little more portable, and I can put it in the drawer real quick and go out for a picnic.
Well, when do you find the best time for inspiration for something like that? I mean, is there certain times of the day, or do you just...
No, all the time. It goes around in my head all day long, and everything becomes a source after a while. I love to walk in the woods, and I see tree roots and things like that I want to photograph and save for future reference. So anytime, everywhere.
I see there's a bit of inspiration. I see James every once in a while popping up in some of these cards. Does he pose for these?
Yes, he gets put into those positions.
That's great. Let's take a look at some of your artwork over there at the table and see what's happening as far as the creation of some of your dolls too. Okay, let's do that.
This is a doll in progress, and it's rather scary looking at the moment, but it's going to be a Renaissance Santa Claus.
I see.
And he's going to have this crazy quilt robe that I'm embroidering and have put together. And he's going to also have, here's like the sleeves that will be going on here. And you'll have a long stocking cap. And you'll have a vest. I'm hoping to do songbirds all on the vest. And then he's going to be just hanging and dripping with all sorts of antique toys and sleighs and nutcrackers. And his face I will sculpt out of clay and set in the eyes and put on the hair and wreath and crown and the whole thing.
So you pretty much start with a wire framework and then work out with...
I usually run a dowel up the piece, and then Jim drills the holes for me where I want them, and then I build a wire armature and then begin to pat it and build up from there.
And this looks like a piece of wood, a burl?
Oh yes, it's a beautiful piece of wood. I was excited when I found it.
Quite the project. How many have you made so far?
Oh, one-of-a-kinds I've done probably about 6 or 8 at this point. And I did some soft sculpture dolls that number in the hundreds. A lot of little cloth 19-inch dolls.
And you also do quite the detail on the faces too. Is this all your creation?
Yes.
I mean, it's not a mold of somebody else. This is yours. Yeah.
No, I start with the, it's a bakeable clay, and I work with that, and also the hands. All the flesh that exposes, I sculpt myself.
I bet you find yourself just whiling away the hours and not realizing how much time is involved in this.
No, again, when it's finished, it will be hard to set a price for it.
Now, how popular are these Renaissance festivals or get-togethers? Is it growing? Have you seen it growing as you've been involved in the Renaissance?
Yes, they have been. They're quite widespread, and also they have, the colleges also have dinners during the holidays. And my husband and I have participated in those also. So there's a lot of little dinners and little gatherings outside of having the large outdoor festivals that happen all over.
Why do you think the popularity is growing? Any ideas, or have you ever thought about that?
Again, I think you're going to hear from me is that I think our modern life has brought a lot of lack of romance, and I think that brings fantasy and romance, which is kind of relaxing and in a sense of escapism for adult life. It's like getting to play like a kid again. At those times you dress up in costume and you're somebody else for a few hours.
I'd like to just ask you, where do you plan on going with your artistic work in as far as the Renaissance and the doll making?
I want it to turn out to be profitable. I mean, it were, you know, an income.
Sure.
So that's where I want it to go. I would, in the doll making, I'm not quite sure. I'm not interested in awards or joining societies or anything like that. I just like to create the dolls and have people like them and buy them. And the cards, I guess, is my endeavors there is to foster an interest in the Celtic culture and keep it alive, and to have the themes and the myths and the stories be a little bit more well known.
Right. You also mentioned that you'd like to venture into the world of Shakespeare and some things of that sort,
There's a city out in Oregon called Ashland, and it's like a Shakespeare town 10 months out of 12. And I've talked to some of the merchants and store owners there already, and I want to create a series of cards to sell through there. Again, that would end in being a calendar. So just to have my work there in a town that, you know, just runs around the excitement of Shakespeare would be a big thrill for me.
A thrill for Nancy indeed, but also there is now a thrill for those that are learning more about her remarkable work, as orders do come from all over. The depth of her love of what she does is reflected on the back of each of her greeting cards. As you turn the card below the story script towards the lower left, you'll see these words penned: "If ever I am missing, look for me always where the Lord of the Sylvan Forest has chanced to make his lair." Artist Nancy Spalink, loving what she does and sharing her love with everyone through her art from Grand Rapids. Thanks, Nancy, for sharing your creativity with Michigan Magazine. Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Flu season. Be prepared. Get your immunizations now at Rose City Drug, your one-stop pharmacy, home health care, and medical supply outlet, offering a variety of on-site immunizations. Walk-ins are of course welcome. Call now for more information. Hale Hardware, your do-it center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving Northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale.
Okay, Barry, I am with Heather, and we're at the Henna Body Art. It's not something that's a permanent, like a tattoo. Tell me about it and tell us your name.
Hi, I'm Heather. Our henna is made from the henna plant. We mix it ourselves fresh weekly with eucalyptus oil and lemon juice. It's all we put in it. So it's all natural, friendly for everyone. It lasts about 1 to 3 weeks on average, depending on the placement and care. Closer to your hands and feet you put it, the darker it gets and the longer it lasts.
And what's the kind of the history of henna body art?
Well, they started out using it to reduce temperatures because it cools your skin temperature up to 11 degrees. So they would put it on the palms of their hands and the soles of their feet to reduce the skin temperature. And then they discovered the staining properties and eventually later on started using it for body art. So they use it in a lot of different cultures. They do it before weddings to bring prosperity. Some cultures have traditions where they do the henna on their hands, and as long as the henna's there, their mother-in-law has to do the housework until it fades, and the more wealthy ones have it redone, and they just have their mother-in-law do the housework all the time. There's all kinds of neat little things that different cultures have to do with it.
Well, thank you for the education. I think I'm going to give it a try.
Okay, sounds good.
And it is a Buccaneer weekend here at the Michigan Renaissance Festival. What does that mean? Well, that means pirates everywhere. Some pirates want to talk, some pirates don't, and I have two pirates that were very happy to talk with us. What's your name?
Bad Dog Rick.
And
Joyzilla.
And you guys have, you found your way here to Holly Grove and the Renaissance Festival. Did you come off the open seas or what?
Yes, we're at the nearest port down by St. Clair.
Now, Ben, do you enjoy the Renaissance Festival every year? How many years have you been attending the festival?
Oh, several. Oh, probably since 1699.
Oh, 16. Well, there you go. He was been here since 1699, even before Holly Grove was here, probably. But it's great to have you guys here, part of the Pirates Weekend. Anything you'd like to add to the people of Michigan? I mean, this probably is a new invention for you, this television thing, right?
It is. It's a little scary. Like, oh, it's taking my soul. No, we're just having a fabulous time. It's wonderful. People should come out every weekend.
It's a great festival. It's a way to kind of kick off fall, and everybody enjoys themselves.
It's a lot of fun. They should be here.
I got a question. You know why pirates are always angry?
Why?
Because they are. For Michigan Magazine, Buccaneer Weekend, we'll check in with more.
Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile.
Vacation. Don't make the planning of it more than what you're trying to get away from. At northernmichigancabinrentals.com, you can choose from over 2,500 cabins, cottages, lodges, resorts, lakefront vacation home rentals, and more. Whatever experience you're looking for, from rustic to luxury and everything in between. No more rustling with telephone books. No more endless internet searches. Just one site with over 2,500 Northern Michigan destinations. northernmichigancabinrentals.com.
Hingeman Acres Canoe Livery and Resort on M33 just north of Mile, catering to the outdoor enthusiasts. Cabins, canoes, kayaks, rafts, and more. Daytime or overnight trips along the world-famous Asabo River. A family getaway for over 75 years. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery.
Emerald Productions is a Michigan video company that provides its services for weddings, special events, documentaries, and more. Give us a call at 248-417-0030 and check out our website at memorproductions.com.
Well, thanks for joining us as we continue to discover Michigan off the beaten path. And thanks for helping us spread the spirit of Michigan, a spirit that will never keep us down. Like the spirit of Ma Dieter's, one of our great supporters. Sadly, fire struck and destroyed this historic restaurant, but happily, they're springing back with plans to rebuild. No one was injured, and the spirit runs deep, looking forward with new hope and a new building. Also, we're keeping track of those fire kittens that were discovered in the rubble of the structure. They're being cared for and getting much-needed treatment for burns and inhalation. Watch for an upcoming story here on the show. Lots of things happening and to pass your way. Speaking of the spirit of Michigan, we discovered a couple of enterprising restaurateurs, Charlie and Phil of the new Cedar Tavern and Grill in Lupton, Michigan, near Shady Shores. This dynamic young duo has taken another historic watering hole destined for closure under their wings and have turned it around with an amazing attitude and spirit. We'll be featuring this new endeavor on an upcoming spotlight. We'll see you this coming weekend, October 24th at Rooftop Landing in Clare for the meeting of MAPS. That's the Michigan Association of Professional Santas. We'll be streaming live and also at the big Halloween party scavenger hunt at Coopersville Old West Town in Oscoda County. Don't forget, you can continue this weekly journey with us 24/7 at all our social media outlets. That includes, but is not limited to, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Periscope, Ustream, Fire Talk, Blog Talk Radio, Blogspot.com, along with our 2 YouTube channels, Spirit of Michigan and Forbidden Michigan. Don't forget our websites, MichiganMagazine.com, and our daily updated journal and news site, thespiritofmichigan.com. Then we'll catch you back here on our FDTV for another edition of Backroad Exploring on Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Something special's cooking, hot and delicious. Indulge yourself at Morning at Maggie's in Bay City. Omelets, frittatas, hotcakes, and more. Make every day special with a stop at Morning at Maggie's for breakfast or lunch on Saginaw in Bay City. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of Northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mile, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mile.